I'm going to go on mute because my wife's kicking off in the background.
Good evening from Super League HQ, where we have a wealth of experience and quality in the studio this evening. As advertised, I am joined by Bostock Stanley. Boss Scott, how are you, mate?
Good evening, Fifey. I'm well, are you?
Very well, everybody. Thank you very much, as always, for joining me.
Absolute pleasure. I'd much rather be playing, but as previously mentioned...
Yes, a late call-up to the commentary booth is the man that stopped you playing tonight. Good evening, Dan Megahorse.
Good evening, Fifey and everyone else.
Thank you as well for joining me this evening.
No problem.
And if we can, give a massive hello for his Super League debut, someone who's a little bit worried, so play nice in the comments. We have Mr. Mike Savage joining us as well this evening. How are you, pal?
Evening, Fifey. All right. Hello, everybody.
Very, very well. Thank you very much, and welcome to the Super League family.
It's good to be here. Well, yeah, I've been here for a while, but it's good to be allowed to be sitting in the front row.
It is. How have you? I mean, we've only got 2 games again tonight, so we've got a bit of time to kill because no one's in a rush on a Sunday evening. So, as an outsider, sort of coming into it, how have you found the whole sort of seeing the inner workings of the Super League and getting involved?
It's been a lot better since I got the assistant manager job, because before that, a lot of it's a bit you don't know. It's very secretive. You know, some of the inner workings, the mysterious pack, etc. So yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind these last few weeks, having the additional access to stuff.
And go on, take us into the changing room, as it were. What role, what duties as assistant manager have you been given?
Oh well, I'm not allowed into the changing rooms. I have to sit on a bench outside.
It's true.
I couldn't tell you. I'll sit on the bench outside, tray of oranges. It's, not far off the limits of my responsibilities at the moment.
Massaging the substitutes.
Yeah, team fluffer.
Good evening to everybody joining us in the chat. I can see Duggan's here, Dimble's here, Ian Edwards is here, Mac is here, Steve's joined us as always, Ryan's just popped in, Jens is here as well. Good evening to all of you and anyone I may have missed. Tato there. So yes, just to confirm, it is Dan, Savage, Scott and myself. Yes, that's right, the other fella. I'm just the one clicking the buttons. So as we alluded to, we've got the 2 games tonight. We're starting with yours, Dan. But before I ask you how nervous you are and the usual rhetoric, Scott, I'll bring you in. Before we lifted the mics up, we obviously discussed that it was at your expense that Leddersford have made it this far. And you were saying off air, it was obviously a tight 2-legged affair. Got no real complaints that Leddersford qualified, and are you expecting them to do well tonight?
Sorry, just excuse me for 1 second. I'm just shutting my living room door because my wife put the fucking hairdryer on.
Hairdryer treatment.
Sorry, yeah.
Hairdryer treatment within 5 minutes of the show starting.
Yeah, no complaints from me. Expected a tough 2-legged affair. Me and Dan have had tight games all season. Leddersford have been really tough to beat, tough to break down, and ultimately the 90th minute goal in the first leg sort of killed it. I thought it was a relatively even game, and thought 1 goal would decide probably both legs. As it happens, they nicked a goal from a direct free kick. We had a real go in the second leg. We set up with an attacking lineup. Probably didn't create a great deal in the first half, dominated the second half, got a goal early and thought we might have kicked on, but Leddersford held firm and ultimately progressed. So, no hard feelings. Well done to Dan.
And Dan, obviously, after the first leg, you also said how crucial that second goal was. When you went 1-0 down, was it a nervy watch in the second leg?
It was almost like Ian Edwards with his standing up and being completely motionless for the entire match. It was yeah, definitely the most tense experience, even more than when I thought I was going to drop out of the playoffs at one point earlier in the season. Yeah, very, very tense. And I expect similar, if not worse, tonight.
Well, let's put you out of your misery, as it were, and go straight into your game then. So this is a one-legged affair this time, and you host Lokomotiv Boston. As we just bring your team up.
Yeah, my team's not being put on. My team's not been updated there. Yeah, check the email because the formation's right, but Kivu's in for Brown. And
yes, sorry, yes, you did.
And Paredes is in for Ambrosini as well.
Controversy.
No, he is right. I was flicking through, making sure I did the tactics, and
That's right. I can see the formation's correct.
I noticed that Petkov and Ronaldinho had swapped places. I didn't notice Kivu was back. I do apologise.
That's all right. Yeah, that should be all right. I mean, I don't really care about the numbers of the substitutes in terms of the order. That's all right. And Kivu's captain. Kivu's captain.
You want Kivu as captain?
Kivu is captain in my tactic file. Yeah, and formation picture. There we are. That looks. Yeah, panic. I was like, I did send it in, didn't I? But yes, I did. I emailed it.
So tell us, but obviously, about the changes you made to the team, and then overall, how nervous you are for tonight.
Better looking at it like that. Definitely. Yeah, it was a case of Kivu. It was a calculated risk about leaving him out with the yellow card last time round, but can't afford to do that in a one-legged tie. So I've got 2 on yellows. I think Paredes is on one as well. So he's on the bench as it is. But yeah, Petkov not getting the ratings, but getting the performances. I'm happy enough with that. How he's doing, he's popping up with the goals at the right times. Up there with Ronaldinho, making sure that backwards arrow isn't there at the moment. But does he come back? I don't know. And Ado deserves to stay in the team, even though Paredes is back from his injury.
And Mike, again, how have the discussions been? Have you tried to influence it at all, or leaving it solely, now it's in the playoffs, leaving it solely to Dan to sort of live by his own sword?
Oh no, we've had plenty of discussions about the team. I suggest what might be a good idea. Dan tells me what's a good idea and does that. So yeah, it actually works really well because I know my place, but yeah, it's we have discussions. It's a two-way thing.
And Mike makes the superb graphics as well.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, Dan gives me a pack of crayons and some paper to go and doodle with, and while he does the final team. Yeah.
Just seeing in the YouTube comments there that Steve's saying that Ado looks awesome, and Tato backing it up, saying that he loves him as well. Not someone who's had a major impact thus far, but certainly been involved more lately and earned his way into this playoff team, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, he could even be used further forward, I suppose, next season as well. I know he doesn't play centre mid, but it gives the option with his pace, with his flair, with his long shots, that he's someone who could theoretically be used in a different position outside the realms of the editor.
And away from Leddersford specifically, Steve just saying, out of the Yorkshire lads, he thought he sounded the most broad, but think Mike now takes that particular mantle.
Oh, you'll feel offended by that one, Mike.
Do not throw allegations of being from Yorkshire at me. That's the wrong side of the Pennines.
Scott, let's have a look at the Loco team. And it's a return to the lineup for Barthez. And for one of the few times this season, Greasy's managed to put Zidane, Guerrero and Scholes in the same team.
Yeah, I think of late you know what you're going to get with Greaves in terms of his back seven. Probably not going to change. Montella's going to play, and then it's what does he do with his midfield three? I think all 3 of them have flattered to deceive this season in general. But from time to time, they've popped up with important contributions. I think Guerrero scored last time out. So yeah, Zidane numerous players over the years or managers over the years have tried to get the best from him without success. But he has got that 1, 2, 3 games a season in him, or a short burst of games where he will contribute. So Greaves will be hoping that comes over the next few games.
And I've just clicked on Loco results here, Scott, and they've been in an unbelievable bit of form really since the 7-goal thriller where they lost at Fulchester. It's very Greavesy-esque when you see the ones and the zeros, but just recently, that there was the 3-1 win over the Devils, then the 2-1 win over the Devils, then the 1-1 draw. Last couple of games, they've been really, really impressive when you consider they were playing the defending champions. And, even this one, although it was 1-1, they'd done the job already and they were the better team.
I think, that's what you expect from Greavesy. You expect it to be tight games. You expect them to be relatively tough to break down. They've conceded a goal in each of the last 7 games, maybe, and there's not been many games that have been decided by more than 1 goal for the last maybe 10 to 12 games. Very similar to Leddersford in that aspect. So this has got a really tight game, 1 goal written all over it.
And Dan, now you've seen I know it was published on social media, but now you've seen the team. Is there a particular area that concerns you, or is it just the Greavesy effect, shall we say?
The Greavesy effect is huge, isn't it? He seems to get, he's got 20 for important matches himself, definitely. Barthez coming back into it is obviously strengthening the side. I've been very impressed with Guerrero in recent performances. And he doesn't seem to get the ratings, but he certainly turns up and he does what he needs to do. And there's a lot to be said for that back 7. There's going forward, Scholes and Zidane don't always perform in some saves, but they're doing all right here, and they will have a good game now and then, and I hope it's not tonight.
Well, let's head to kickoff, and I know certain managers don't like to make predictions of their own side, so I'll leave you for the minute, Dan. But Mike, do you want to offer the first prediction of the night?
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 to Boston. No, joking. No, I'm going to go 2-0 Leddersford.
2-0 Leddersford. Scott?
I'm going to go 2-1 Leddersford, and I've never been more confident of a prediction in the entire Super League career.
Who's got the more English players? Because it's St. George's Day. So...
Dan, do you want to put in a prediction as well? There seems to be a lot of love on the panel for Leddersford.
I will just say I'll be happy. I'll be happy to be in this at half time. If we're level at half time, I think we've got a chance.
Okay, well, good luck to you and of course to Greavesy. Jens going 1-0 either way. Ian Edwards saying 2-1. Steve saying extra time. Just a reminder for everyone, if it does go to extra time, it's golden goals, where still only 1 team has ever gone out on golden goals to my recollection, and that was my Devils team to Fulchester 2 seasons ago. Dimble's saying 0-0, so he's going extra time, and then maybe
Greavesy's confident there.
Greavesy's gone 0-0 and
0-0 on penalties.
As well. Let's kick this one off and see how we go. I mean, considering all the low scores, Tato's popped up with good luck to both of you. Please do some goals. Dan, you were alluding to off there that fairly tight games in the regular season as well, weren't they?
Hugely, I think they won all both times, and this game started off with Leddersford doing all right, but we haven't done anything with it, and here they come.
Well, it is Montella getting an early chance and a corner for the away side, but with 20 minutes in, no goals yet. That's Berea straying offside. I love the fact that I get to see how concentrated, especially when the manager's on, whose game it is. It's always great, and Dan looks very, very serious, and Mike is very, very invested. Scott looks very calm. He's fine. Kaluzhny with a header, but misses, and a goal kick to Leddersford as we approach half an hour. Loco do appear to be creating slightly more at the moment. Montella missing the target this time, and here they come again. But Kivu doing his job. Montella again. The defence putting in a good shift for Leddersford, but they need to be doing a bit more in midfield. Here comes Constantinu though, and Petkov. Constantinu again, Barthez with a fine save. This is why he's been brought back into the team. Zidane, Montella, still Montella. Oof, fine save again from the goalkeeper. Underrated, isn't he, Dan Tybee?
This season, I'm not going to curse him today, but he has played very, very well.
Barthez making the save this time, and nothing comes from a rare Leddersford attack as we 5 minutes left of the first half. Petkov picking it up, man that we, or particularly me, been waxing lyrical about for weeks now. But here come Loco again, flags up, offside, 3 minutes to be added on. And you wanted to be in it at half time, Dan, and there is the half time whistle, 0-0. But Loco, as it appeared, definitely creating more.
We are hanging on at times. Defensively, done a fairly decent job. You can see that their defence is not being tested anywhere near enough, and we're just going to hope Tybee will keep Montella out consistently for the rest of the game.
And Scott, as the sort of neutral, I'll let you sort of pass comment on Loco, whose stats I brought up first to give Greasy chance to look at the subs. Quite impressive when you consider how good Leddersford have been, how well Loco have played.
Yeah, I thought they were in control for large parts of that first half. Created more chances, obviously. And Greavesy will probably be a little bit disappointed that they've not managed to take the lead. But it sets it up for a really tight second half. That 2-1's looking quite far away at the moment, so it might just be a 1-0.
Greavesy already coming in saying keep as is, please. So just while Dan gets a chance to review his player stats, Mike, how did you find that first half?
A bit edgy. Saka, not to influence anybody. Ronaldinho's just not quite performed again.
Yet.
So 2 games on trot.
I'm just weighing up something. Just thinking about it. I am going to make a change. Going to make a change. Let's bring off Fogel.
Yep.
And bring on Hersey and switch him with Petkov.
It's a big move, taking Vogel off.
Just got to avoid that. He's a card risk.
He is a card risk.
We cannot go down to 10 men from a second yellow from Fogel.
And his consistency and level of importance on the team is not overpowering the yellow card risk.
No, I want to stay in this. I want to stay in this game, and I do worry. Petkov can do a great job in centre mid.
No, absolutely. I mean, Petkov, as we always say, has had a fine season despite not necessarily getting the ratings. Duggan certainly agrees. He's one for swapping a player on a yellow card, and he's put good sub that. We kick off the second half, see if the substitution does make a difference.
He did. He was offside.
And as was Ronaldinho. Loco coming forward again. And Petkov wins the header. Skulls with the obstruction. Indirect free kick given. Leddersford look like they're attempting a bit more, but not really getting into the areas that Dan will be hoping for. We approach the hour mark now, and here comes Hersey and Kivu. And there's a trip. Kaluzhny gets a yellow card. Free kick was obviously good.
Yeah, memorable.
And time is ticking away without anything really happening.
Here we go.
It's a penalty and a red card.
There's your curse. Tybee's having a good season, hasn't he?
Why did you have to say that?
Just switch. Can you just check my conditions?
I can.
We'll do Possonzini off, but if we put Hersey on the left.
Like that, yeah?
Yeah, please. And yeah, Ronaldinho can go central. Yeah.
Central it up,
Yeah. Thank you.
And so we go Leddersford now down to 10 men, and Loco have a penalty. Let's see if the substitute can make an impact, and it is Montella. And he does
There
score.
we are.
It is 1-0 to Loco.
Absolute king of shithousery out there, Loco. Jesus Christ. Greavesy, nobody wants you to win, not a single person.
And that should wrap it up with Zambrotta scoring on 79 minutes from 20
Yeah, it was nice while it lasted, wasn't it?
Floodgates now, isn't it?
Can the 10 men of Leddersford give us a grandstand finish?
No.
I tell you what, whoever loses from between Fulchester and Burn tonight are absolutely not going to want to face Boston, are they?
And here comes Hersey and Petkov. And there is the full-time whistle. Commiserations to Dan and Mike. Congratulations to Greavesy.
Yeah, well played, Greavesy.
I mean, ultimately, and again, I appreciate it's going to be very frustrating, upsetting, annoying, any of these sort of descriptive words, Dan, but Loco were statistically the better team for the 92 minutes.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm not even going to say it's any of those words at all. I think we've had a good season. We've had a very good season. We've, come effectively fourth, and I've got absolutely no complaints there. Taibbi's brought him down. Fair enough. Foul, penalty, and very, very well played to Loco. So yeah, well done. Well done.
And
Dan, be more angry.
I'm not. I'm not. We gave it a go.
Well, you alluded to it there, so let's take a moment to reflect, if I can, Dan. As you said, and I'm seeing a couple of comments sort of matching it there as well. When you look in the grand scheme of things, I appreciate this is probably a question better for 24, 48 hours time, but you have, by what you said when you first came in, after 4 or 5 games of the season, taking over a squad that wasn't yours, you've had a good season. You've picked up fans along the way. A lot of people have rated you as one of, if not the manager of the season for what you achieved with this squad. Pleased with the team's efforts over the course of the season?
Very, very pleased. I feel that, the players that I gave most of the game time to, very pleased with how they've done. And some players have come in and done little cameos. I mean, Sereni's come in. He's been really good at picking the ball out of the net. And, everyone's done their job. But, Kivu there, man of the match. Ado's had a great game there. It's given me a lot to think about. But, 2 games into the season it was that the old manager had whip-bobbed his way through. And then, come in. And it's been a superb season. I'm looking forward to the next one already.
And Mike, without giving any of the team secrets away as such, with the conversations you've had, are you equally excited for the next season at Leddersford?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the side is strong enough as it is, but next season it's considerably stronger again. So yeah, we'll have another really good pop at it next year.
And Scott, let's have a word on the victors tonight on Loco. A few people again just picking up on some of the comments, suggesting this is classic Greavesy, shithouse Greavesy, etc. But given that he has been there and done it, he has won the Super League before, and the incredible form that we alluded to before kickoff, and they've now eliminated Devils, they've eliminated Leddersford. Are they favourites, or how close are they to being favourites to win it again now?
I've just seen some comments about Loco being favourites. Now, on the game first, all joking aside, that is an incredible performance away from home by Boston. They've limited Leddersford to absolutely nothing. A couple of chances early on. Apart from that, they've controlled the game. Assisted with a red card, granted, but that's a really strong performance. Probably as strong as Boston have been all season. They didn't really look in any danger at all, and it's what Greavesy does. Are they favourites? I don't think you can call them favourites. There's 2 exceptional sides that are going to play in a few minutes' time that might have a little bit to say about that. But they've got a chance because they're still in it. whoever loses and doesn't go through tonight are not going to want to play them. But two very, very good sides, equally as hard to beat. So literally, I could not. If you ask me for a prediction on who's going to win it tonight, in terms of win the whole thing, I would suggest that whoever wins this next fixture are favourites.
Well, we have. While you were talking, I did click through the 24 hours to get to this major semi-final second leg. I'm trying to be fair in this assessment. One of the two teams at the start of the season was very richly fancied in terms of Northern Burn. Another of the teams was fancied in the sense of the manager is very highly rated and they do have a good squad, but they weren't necessarily classed in the same bracket as the likes of Northern Burn, Devils, and to an extent before a ball was kicked, Halls. Mike, going into this, as I said, very finely poised, the top two sides in the league over the 26 games, this could be a potential classic game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no reason why they're not. Yeah, there's a good reason why they are both playing in the playoffs, isn't it? It's it's definitely there.
Well, Dan, I will allow you to discuss the home side, who have suffered some key suspensions, as you can see there. So we've got Roy Keane.
As I screw my face up and look at that.
Roy Keane has come in for Jeremy's. Samuel has come in for Cannavaro. And Gardner, Ryan will be pleased to see, has come in for Georgatos. But still, despite those, it's a very strong team, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, 3 suspensions and Roy Keane's playing. I mean, that just confuses me just so much. But, I mean, Gardner, I mean, I was very, very eager for him to play lots for Leddersford, so I sold him. And he actually looks like he's done a decent job there at this point of the season. 2 games in and 2 performances for the side.
Former Leddersford man as well.
Yeah. I mean, but Petkov was a swap, so I feel pretty happy with that. Sigalko, he's just primed for this kind of match. I think there's a good chance he will score. Fulchester need to win, don't they, as it stands, really, or get a really good score draw. I think this is going to be extremely tight, but I don't know. I think the way, how I've played against the two sides this season, Fulchester destroyed me an aggregate of 8-3, and Leddersford, we beat Burn 2-1 on aggregate over the season, I think.
I'm just wanting to clarify a few things for people that I'm seeing in the chat while you're discussing. So in terms of this game, away goals used if scores are level. So Burn having 2 away goals is going to be crucial already. Golden goal again comes in, and then penalties. To clear it up for Tato, the winner of this tie goes straight to the final. The loser of this tie now plays Greavesy in a one-off on Wednesday to see who will join the winners in the final on Sunday.
Yeah, and am I right in thinking if Fulchester, whether they lose this one and win the next one or whatever, they will still be home in the final, whatever
Correct.
happens for the league?
How it works is whoever is in the final and finished in the highest place plays it at home. So Fulchester, regardless, will have the advantage if they get there. If they don't make it, then Burn will have the home advantage in the final.
Piper, can we just have a quick look at the home form table over the course of the season?
I don't see any reason why not. So Fulchester had finished 3rd in the home form, and Burn were outside the top 6. Does that surprise you in any specific way?
No. I was just sort of intrigued as to whether a side, either of the sides, were overly impressive at home.
For the record, Fulchester, who are obviously away today, had the 4th best. Or well, I suppose you could say joint second. So
Fulchester won more. Yeah, Fulchester won more away than Burn have won at home.
If that was you, Dan, would that give you a bit of confidence going into it?
I just think the firepower of Fulchester in general is frightening, and Burn. Yeah, you could say people have said they're a one-man team, whatever, but obviously they're clearly not to have finished where they have done.
So Scott, let's have a look at Fulchester then, and there's a slight, the tactics stay the same, but there is a slight tweak. Nicky Butt comes back into centre midfield, meaning Veron can move forward again, and he's partnered by Nedved in the attacking midfield roles. Ronaldo drops to the bench, and why can't I remember who played next to him in the last game? Arca.
Arca, yeah.
And Arca drops out the squad completely.
Yeah, there's obviously Prutton, Bishkan, but have all been extremely strong this season. But whether he's moved forward or whether he's played defensive midfield, probably been one of the best midfielders in the league without the ball. And then the four sort of creative players that they've got behind Michael Owen, will play a key role if Fulchester to progress in this game. Giggs and Beckham, Nedved and Veron, it's an incredible four. Michael Owen's done okay this season. He's played a few important games. I'll be honest, I thought that he might be used as an impact sub, but given his form over the last couple of games, no reason why Micah shouldn't start him, no reason why he can't have an impact from the beginning. So yeah, really, really intriguing side.
So again, this one starts at 2-2. So Burn have the slight advantage having the away goals already. Dan, your prediction now? You've seen both teams?
I do still feel Fulchester will sneak this just by the one, but they will sneak it.
So you don't think it's going to go to extra time or anything? You think it'll be done in 90 minutes?
Yes. If I'm going to put a score, I'm going to say 1-0.
1-0. Mike?
I'm going to go with Desmond and Burn to take it on penalties, I think.
Oh, we're going to... Well, considering Mac has just put in the chat, he's far too nervous. You said it's going to penalties is not going to help his mood at all.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Scott?
I think Burn and Cizalco will score.
Okay.
I think Fulchester will be in it. I think that Burn will lead at half-time and Fulchester will win 2-1 at full-time.
Okay. Let's kick the game off then.
With an impact sub.
Tato has gone 3-3 in the chat with the first prediction. That would obviously see Fulchester qualify on away goals. Nedved picking up. And already we've got an early goal. Nedved has scored. Fulchester now with the advantage in the tie and the game. And the face of my co-commentators here, the reactions, they're looking forward to 5-10 minutes of entertainment here now.
Oh, the drama's well up after that. Definitely.
Now we see if Sigalco's got the big game attributes to sort this out for Burn, don't we? Steve writes, pointing out the Super League is more than a game; it's a way of life. something that myself and Scott know very well. Something that Dan and Mike have picked up very quickly. We are approaching half an hour. Still Fulchester with the narrow lead, but here they come again, and it's Giggs, but he puts it wide. Here they come again, but Youngberg picks it up. But Butt and Veron now. Owen told over another save. Again, it looks like the away sides are dominating. And Giggs, Beckham in the corner. Again, the defence hold out. But it's all Fulchester. It has to be said, I mean, just as we wait to see what Owen does here, Nedved, no, couldn't put it in. Has to be said, Fulchester don't have like a glamour defence, like the likes of what Burn have got. So I think that defensively, Fulchester have been very, very strong considering. I don't know if you agree, Dan.
Yeah, I think I'm very impressed with the Fulchester defence over the course of this season. I know they've conceded a fair few goals, but I mean, it doesn't really matter when you're scoring that many. And I mean, the first half they've been solid. They've not been tested too much, but the attack of Fulchester, Walter Samuel's having to do a lot of work, I think.
His name was coming up a lot. Let's have a look at the away side first then, Dan. Nedved obviously pulling the strings largely. And they've been, as you say, been very impressive to be dominating Bern so far.
Yeah, Yepes has been superb there. Valharan is, he's a great foil for Yepes and obviously Nicky, but he's stopping a lot of that play getting to them in the first place. There's obviously Veron's been, I don't know, his name's been popping up a bit, but he seems fairly quiet by some of his stats.
By his standards.
Yeah, but I think at the moment they've been untroubled shot wise because they've been so solid in the tackle.
Yeah. And Scott, if we can have a word on Bern, Ian's not known for making subs, but might he in this situation be tempted to try and alter the flow of the game?
I think my initial thought, because of the way the first half panned out, was that he actually might make a sub, but given that the players that are not having a great game are, Robin, not really a like replacement. I don't see him trusting Nakata. Tizalco's always got a goal in him, and Contreras is probably all-time favourite. I think he'll probably run with it, but if he doesn't change the personnel, something needs to change to get Bern back in this. But one goal and it swings back Bern's way. Maka will definitely want a second goal and put himself truly in the driving seat. I'm going to stick with my 2-1 prediction. Obviously, Bern didn't take the lead, but I still think Fulchester will take it 2-1.
Just having a look through the comments in the chat, Jens saying that was a massive half from Fulchester, Ian saying so strong, Ryan saying this is reminiscent of Fulchester v Sloths last year, Jens mentioning Nakata as well. Just picking up on something Dan said, Mike, obviously one of the names we saw a lot in that first half text commentary was Walter Samuel. He is having a very good half, and he's probably the reason that Fulchester aren't further ahead.
Yeah, he's had a cracking game, hasn't he? But not too far behind him. Totti not doing a bad job. Not doing a bad job either. In fact, there's quite a few. They're all putting a shift in. They're all getting decent percentage one for the tackles, so they're having to. They've been facing a lot.
Well, Ian is going as is, and there's the confirmation that Maka is as well. So we kick off the second half of what a crucial 45 minutes of Super League action, and a yellow card for Nicky Butt early doors. I was going to say it looks like Bern certainly started a little bit stronger than they ended the first half, but Fulchester again starting to come forward. Veron and Keane going into battle, but here come Northern Bern again. Contra, Sigalco, Buffon with a good save. Giggs and Beckham working hard on the wings, and Veron's name getting involved. Totti, Youngberg, Buffon with the save. Totti again picking it up. Just past the hour mark. You can feel the nerves. Robin must score. Robin has scored. And it's advantage Bern again. It's 1-1. And Fulchester's failure to make their dominance count might come back to punish them. Giggs lines up a free kick. And now Prutton, Biscan, but with a header. Toldo with a fine save. And now it's Bern on the attack. Henri, Sigalco, all the names that Ian will want to see. But here come Fulchester again. It's certainly end-to-end spectacular volley by Veron, but it wasn't a spectacular goal. Here comes Veron again, and Owen. Flag stays down. It's still Michael Owen. Owen's going all the way. Told us that. Sure, Owen still can't score. He's doing it all on his own. Here comes Fulchester again. Beckham with a free kick. And Prutton puts one high and wide. 20 minutes to go now. Robin offside this time. And Giggs again shooting from distance. Buffon plays it out to Butt and Veron, Nedved. Contrast, obstruction. Giggs, Owen, Veron. And it's Owen again, but he can't beat Youngberg. Duggan, how can Owen miss that with his finishing stats? Here come Fulchester again, and it's Nedved, Toldo doing well. The goalkeepers both putting in excellent shifts today. We're into the final 10 minutes now. It's literally on a knife edge, this game. Giggs cuts it out. Do Fulchester have one last big chance in them? They need a goal. Here comes Veron, Nedved. Flag stays down, Nedved. Oh no, over the bar. They come forward again. It's all Fulchester as we come to the close. Nicky Butt. Told it as well. But again, well, there's going to be 2 minutes added on, which we're about to come into. But here come Fulchester again. Nedved puts it over this time. You can't even suggest that it's been a solid defensive display by Burn, because it's just the chances are going over and wide all the time. But there is the final whistle. Northern Burn have qualified for the grand final. Congratulations to Ian. Commiserations to Macca, who is now going to have to go to battle with Greavesy on Wednesday night. The reaction of particularly of one of the co-commentators, sums up exactly what he thinks of that game. That is going to be a clash of styles midweek. Scott, I will come to you first. It's just wayward finishing by Fulchester that's cost them there, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. They've played really well. Look at the chances they've created. Macca will be absolutely gutted that they've created so many chances.
He is.
Dominated most of the game and not managed to get that second goal. They could have got a second goal before the Burn equaliser. That could have changed the flow of the game, and it didn't really. Fulchester still kicked on. So Macca will be really disappointed, and he will absolutely hate having to go and play Greavesy.
I'm just seeing here, Macca's instant reaction was away goals is such a stupid rule, Mike. You can understand that reaction when this happens, can't you?
Oh, yeah, completely, especially when his team has been ahead on the chances. Even though they've not made the best of them, they've still had more on target.
And is it a case, Dan, of if Fulchester had... I mean, let's click on Burn first before I make the point. So Sigalko's not got the goal that everyone predicted he would get, but if he had the amount of chances that the Fulchester attack had, would you maybe have expected him to?
I don't know. I think the defence has played that well that I'm not sure that, to be honest, any falling to a different player would have made any difference. I mean, look at the amount of tackles that we've had there from 4 key Burn players. I think Fulchester will come up with pretty similar stats, to be honest. And I think it's been a very, very solid defensive performance to both. I mean, massive congratulations to Ian. I know I backed Fulchester, but I apologise to Macca because my predictions are usually terrible. But I mean, he's played so well this season as Macca. I think these two will meet each other again in the final.
And a lot of people picking up on what I was next going to ask you, Dan. Toldo with arguably the goalkeeping performance of the season.
If you want a person to do well at a certain time of the season and not give a penalty away and get sent off, I mean, Toldo has done an absolutely tremendous job there. And I mean, full credit. He's made 7 top saves during that game.
A lot of really good performances, though. I mean, the one to highlight for Ryan's benefit more than anything, Scott, is Ricardo Gardner getting a 9.
Yeah, just look at that performance from Burn. They had their backs to the wall and they've just dug in. Incredible performance from Roy Keane, I would also point out.
Yeah, I was going to say he's been
Gardner's done well. And one thing that I would also point out is that the players that had a poor first half and that Ian's stuck with is Cezalco's assisted Robin for the equaliser, which has sent them through, which I guess is why Ian's not a fan of half-time substitutions.
Yeah.
Macca will be absolutely gutted. Obviously, they've played exceptionally well. Look at Yepes, look at Nicky Butt. The defensive work they've done to turn the ball over and create so many chances. Disappointing from Macca's perspective, but well played to win. They got the job done.
And just picking up on that point, Mike, and alluding to something that I'd said evidently unfairly now that we've seen the actual stats of the individual players and stuff. Although there was a lot of chances created, a lot of the more defensive-minded players have had really good games. There was a lot of tackles going in. For example, that we looked at. Scott mentioned Roy Keane earlier. That the players who perhaps have been a problem with suspensions and stuff throughout the season, they've all raised their game. They've made sure not to let their teams down today.
Yeah, they've turned up for the important game, haven't they? mean, I think it probably speaks volumes about the quality of the attacking from both sides as well, that they've had to put that shift in to get a 1-1 draw. You know, any poor performance from any one of those, then it could have been very different.
No, absolutely. And Dan, just a final word on Fulchester's performance?
There wasn't a bad player on the pitch, was there? Everybody's done a decent job. I mean, Veron, I mean, there's some people who can't stand the key passes thing, but 8 key passes is something to say. He's been trying to create as many chances as possible. Just a big shout out there to Freddie Ljungberg as well, who's actually done a very, very good defensive job for Bern during that game.
No, absolutely. And Freddie Ljungberg's one of those players who he's not considered an integral part of the Bern team, but every time he's played, he has done a job for Ian.
Yeah, he's not a player that I would go to in a lot of scenarios, and I think he's just shown that was a very, very solid performance. I still think for me, I know Toldo's got himself a 10, but Yepes should have a 10 as well.
Just putting you all on the spot. Obviously, I'm not going to click through. There'll be no team news announcement or anything tonight, but just a one-word answer, and I'll start with you, Dan. Wednesday night, we have Fulchester v Loco. Who's qualifying?
Fulchester.
Mike?
Fulchester.
Scott?
Loco.
It's certainly going to be an interesting night with Ryan on Wednesday. Gents,
it'll be 1-0, 90, something shit like that.
I did see
Penalty.
earlier Greavesy did comment, how's he supposed to go to sleep? He's absolutely buzzing. Listen, I know it was a short show. It's only, 45, 50 minutes or so. But it's been an absolute pleasure having the three of you on. Firstly, Mike, as a Super League debut goes, I think you've done tremendously well. So thanks again for coming on and offering your input.
Worries. No worries. Been good. Been great.
Scott, always a pleasure having you on with us as well. Thank you very much.
You're welcome anytime, and roll on next season. Fuck the final.
And obviously, sincerest commiserations, Dan, that your season has ended abruptly tonight. But hopefully, you can keep the smile you've got on your face now, and keep the pride that you've had in the season that you've had going into next season.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I can't be disappointed with it. I cannot be disappointed at all. I'm very, very happy to have at least got where we got to.
No,
I've never seen anybody look so happy after just getting knocked out. It's a big grin.
This time last season, I was not even close to having a team, so that's where I am.
That's a very, very good way of looking at it. Gents, thank you very much. Everyone in the chat, thank you very much. Until Ryan gets the one game on Wednesday, and then just think, this time next week, we will pretty much know who I'm handing the crown over to. 1 week to go in the Super League from HQ.
I can't believe you haven't taken that crown.
Nice time for that
stream.
to freeze, wasn't it? Yes, I have got the Champions jersey is still here, hanging next to me as well. Look, but no, from Super League HQ. Good night, and I will speak to you all next week.